Regime change, regime change. Yahaha, regime change.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule cause you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, cause I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
It's the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that is never gross, MC Too Tall. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Happy birthday, Bobby. That's my eldest brother. So, happy birthday, shout out to my brother Bobby. I got nothing to talk about today, so I'm going to talk about regime change and why it's not always a necessary thing and so forth. U.S. leaders throughout U.S. history and world history have taken it upon themselves to introduce democracy to the world. The best way to do that is for other countries to take the initiative on their own, look towards us as an example, and then fix and arrange things in their own country to model us. That's the best way we could influence. That's the most practical way. It's the most humane way. But we saw how Bush and company handled situations like that. Like they went in and destabilized Iraq, for example. And then, of course, the Obama administration felt an obligation to destabilize Libya. And there was the push to destabilize Syria. And these biblical countries, if the name of a country is mentioned in the Bible, don't mess with it. Because it means the countries, whether you believe in any form of religion or not, if it's in the Bible, it tells you that it's an ancient friggin' country that you shouldn't be messing with, because whatever's going on there has been going on for thousands of years, and we got no business in it with our young 250-year-old ass. But you have people that think that they have to march in and rid a country of its monarch, its dictator, or what have you. Some countries were actually meant to be ruled. Some countries have cultures that are meant to have a leader ruling over them. It just is. And that's why I believe in the sovereignty of nations. Because if there's a national sovereignty with the allowance for an exit plan, you could exit the country and live where the rules and regulations of the country you're going is more to your liking. That's why so many people want to come here, for example. People like it here, oftentimes, than their homelands. I mean, Italy wasn't at war when my grandparents came here. Poland wasn't at war when my grandparents on the other side of the family came here. But they liked what America had to offer, and they came to America. And that's why I believe in the sovereignty of nations. You don't like the laws of Germany, you go to Italy. You don't like the rules of Italy, you go to Japan. You don't like the rules of Japan, you go to Canada. You despise the rules of Canada, you come to the United States. And so, some countries have cultures that are meant to be ruled over because it's just a culture. And as I said, people that aren't pleased with the culture of one country can take the customs of that country with them to another country while assimilating to the new home that they're moving to. Of course, it has to be in increments. It can't be by masses where you have a bunch of people huddled in one city and the amount of people is so massive that they take over the entire city, or even a quarter of an entire city. Then before you know it, the land you once knew becomes entirely different. You don't want abrupt changes of landscape either. So in increments, so it's easier for assimilation, because it's also important for everyone in a particular country to have a love for the country they live in. Teddy Roosevelt hated hyphenated nationalities. Don't call yourself an Italian American. Don't call yourself a German American. Call yourself American if you move to America. And you could say, I'm of Italian heritage or I'm of German heritage, but I am American once you become a naturalized American citizen. I mean, this is simple 7th grade stuff here, but there's a lot of people that don't get it, they don't understand the logic, and they take personal offense to it. They take what I said and interpret it as if you and your kind are dirtbags. You ain't doing it like this, or you must die. And that's not the case at all. I don't see the need to interpret anything I say as that. But there are people that look at it that way. And we have to stop worrying. We have to stop worrying about our language. Because there's certain things that must not be for our own survival. Because if us regular people, us normal people don't watch out, we're going to have people from foreign lands that come from countries where they make shoes but don't wear shoes, standing over us with a whip or riding past us on horseback with whip in hand as we pick fruits and vegetables and cotton. And I personally don't think it's Whitey's turn to pick the cotton. It's nobody's turn to pick the cotton for free. You understand what I'm saying here? You don't make an entire group of people who coincidentally are the same race as these other people that own slaves into slaves. Especially if you don't know the roots of the people living here now. I have no ancestors that owned a single slave in the United States. That I can attest to because turn of the century is when the clock began in my lineage in the United States. And slavery was already abolished for a good 40 years or so. But anyway, here I am telling you this important stuff here, and I'm glad I got to tell you this. And there are certain things that need to be ironed out here in the United States, but let's face it, if we weren't as great a country as I say we are, people wouldn't be trying to get in here by hook or crook. It just is. It just is. Yeah, and don't even get me started on the power struggle between the two American political parties on who wants to take the credit for regime change in another country. And they rush so hard to do it, they botch things up and destabilize that other country. And both sides are guilty of this. As I said, we've seen it with Bush and we've seen it with Obama. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And so what I'm gonna do is wrap this up. This concludes this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. Hope you enjoyed it. And remember, respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, the founding father figure of industrial rap, MC Too Tall. Be good.